For life, from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 47 degrees tonight, mainly cloudy and breezy with a low of 47. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brinda. Cutting Waukesha County's tax rate for the 11th year in a row. Just one of the results of that county's 2025 budget being approved Thursday morning. Budget funds would also go to the Sheriff's Department for jail operations, for mental health services, and fighting the opioid crisis, and continued infrastructure improvements of Moreland Road. The total budget for the county is nearly $400 million. More petroleum pipeline.
The Wisconsin DNR approves the controversial Line 5 reroute project through parts of Wisconsin's North Woods. The permit will allow Enbridge Energy to replace 20 miles of pipeline, over half of which passes through the Bad River Reservation. 41 miles of new pipeline will route entirely outside the reservation's border because easements on the line have expired. Although Enbridge must meet over 200 environmental conditions to proceed, the tribe and environmental groups have argued for shutting down Line 5 entirely as a 2019 lawsuit continues to play out. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The project still needs approval from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineering before it can proceed. A new overdose alert system is providing help to multiple Wisconsin communities. Wisconsin's Suspected Overdose Alerts for Rapid Response, or WESOR, consolidates all overdose data and informs EMS and local law enforcement how many cases are taking place in their municipalities. Michelle Hayes, Director of Substance Abuse Initiatives.
This could definitely help have a better understanding of how many suspected overdoses are occurring in their communities, and also understand geographically a proximity of where it's occurring. So can they get naloxone efforts to a saturation point in that particular part of, say, the county or the city?
Data can be submitted anonymously from people who have a connection to someone who is overdosing. The Milwaukee Bucks have unveiled their 2024-2025 City Edition alternate jerseys. The blue alternates will be worn at select Buck home games throughout the season. To take a look at the new jerseys, text City to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Sign Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:03.
Craft your Brewers mini plan for the 2025 season, featuring all new 6-packs and 12-packs. Get in on the action with great ticket rates, marquee matchups, and priority seating. Plus, you'll get a limited edition Brewers Crowler with each 12-pack or pair of 6-packs. Looking to customize your games to fit your schedule? Build your own ticket plan options are also available. Pick the plan for you at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Blue sweater, red sweater, reindeer sweater, extra double thick sweater.
What are you doing?
Getting my closet ready for winter. It'll be here before you know it.
Good point. We should all be getting our vehicles ready for winter too. And now's the time to visit any of the 115 Adam member new car dealers to get your oil changed, have your brakes and wipers checked, and make sure your tires will get you through a long Wisconsin winter. Just visit adamm.com to find the nearest Adam member dealer.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
For 60 years, we've been known as Quality Heating, offering the highest levels of HVAC expertise. But when I took over for Greg, I saw the potential to add services for all your home needs. We do heating and cooling so well, I figured, why not offer new trades to give all-around home service to our customers? So along with heating and cooling, we now offer top-flight plumbing and electric services. There's no subs here. And we all work under the quality code of taking pride in the Midwestern work ethic, and more importantly, Midwestern morals. You know, much of our trade has gone corporate with private equities, but we remain a family-owned company. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality, offering heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. For the signature service you deserve, call Quality.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality, now offering heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Milwaukee Bucks hope to gain another win on Saturday against the Charlotte Hornets in North Carolina. Tip-off time is at 2 p.m. And the Marquette Golden Eagles men's basketball team takes on Maryland Terrapins in College Park this Friday. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. And your Green Bay Packers are set to take on the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field this Sunday with kickoff starting at noon. Pick your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. We have one incident on the road. There's a crash on the exit to Holt Avenue from I-43-94 North. The ramp is closed at this time. Other than that, traffic looks pretty clear. All right, take a look at your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low of 44 degrees. Friday will be partly to mostly cloudy with a high of 53 degrees. Saturday will be mostly cloudy. We'll have a chance of overnight showers with a high of 54 degrees. Sunday, a slight chance of morning showers, and it'll be mostly cloudy and mild and breezy with a high of 60 degrees. Monday, mostly cloudy with a chance of evening showers and a high of 54 degrees. And Tuesday, we'll likely see rain, and it'll be cloudy and breezy with a high of 58 degrees. In Madison, it's 47. In Green Bay, it's 46. In Waukesha, it's 45. And in Milwaukee, it's 47. I'm Sean Brinda. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 8:07.
On the field, inside the clubhouse, and everything in between. This is Brewers Weekly. Here's Dominic Cotroneo.
Surprise, back in studio, back on WTMJ Live over the airwaves. I'm Dom Cotroneo. Thanks for joining us on this lovely November the 14th. This is my lucky number day, 14. 14 is my lucky number, in case you're wondering. Anyway, we've not got a lot to talk about. We talked about it a lot in the last couple of podcast episodes. If you only listen live on WTMJ, don't worry. On weeks that we're off, I always try to put a show up on the podcast feed that's just recorded only, audio only. Brewers All Access is the name of the podcast feed, and we got a couple of episodes already up over the last couple of weeks. Now we're back here live on WTMJ. We will be live again next week, too. We will not be live the week of Thanksgiving, but I've got a fun episode in the works for that one. It's going to be a year in review type game, and then we're going to have near Christmas, I want to say like right around the 20th or so, maybe a little before that, I should have the Games of the Year countdown ready to go. I did this last year, too. It's a big long project for me, getting all the highlights, recapping the stories and all the games where we pick the top 10 games of the year and just here are the highlights, is relive them. That'll be in December. So we'll have a year in review show coming up in a couple of weeks, but we are live here Thursday night, 8 o'clock tonight and next week. Let's get into some headlines, shall we? And as we speak, right now, Major League Baseball is announcing their all MLB teams, you know, like all NFL or all pro, if you will, or all NBA, same thing. So Major League Baseball initiated this back in 2019. There's been only one Brewer to make it on a first team or second team all MLB, and that was Christian Yelich in 2019. So we're expecting to see William Contreras be a catcher all MLB at some point this evening. It's like they're doing it like a full, you know, if you watch the NFL Honors show, you know, like it's supposed to be like the same thing where it's like, hey, we're going to drag this out and fill a couple of hours. Roy Woods Jr. is hosting the comedian. He's pretty funny, and they got some MLB Network talent there at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. So I imagine that news will come out while we're on the air. And by the way, because we're live, you can interact with us here live. You can tweet me as well at Dom_Cotroneo. That's DOM_COTRONEO. Cotroneo. If you want to call in, if you want to text in, it is 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. I'm not over on the other app yet. We'll talk about that later in the show for all the exodus on social media and my thoughts on that anyway. But let's get to a couple of other headlines. We're also going to talk a little bit about what next week's qualifying offer deadline means for the Brewers. There's also another under-the-radar deadline with that comes with next Tuesday that we need to talk about that doesn't quite get pub until day of, so I want to put that on your radar because we won't talk until that deadline has passed again. And then furthermore, let's talk about potential third base options and what the Brewers could be looking ahead to for 2025. Let's start things off with headlines since the last time we talked. Platinum Glove, Bryce Terang. Congratulations to Bryce. He is the National League winner of the Platinum Glove, which is given to the highest defender. There is a fan vote aspect of it, but there is also some analytics that go involved into this. I'll break this down a little bit later on in the program. This was in a Twitter thread I put last week. I'll explain it here for the audio and for the radio audience here to say why he was very, very, very deserving of the Platinum Glove, which you watched Bryce Terang this season. You know how great he was. So that happened since the last time we recorded an episode. The next thing that happened since the last time we recorded an episode, yesterday, William Contreras was named a Silver Slugger Award winner for the second consecutive year. He is still the only Brewers catcher to have won the Silver Slugger Award. Yep, Jonathan Lucroy never won one, which is still shocking to me. Nonetheless, it gave me a chance to just sit back and look at the final slash line of William Contreras, because when you're finally in the offseason and when you're talking about your team to other teams that maybe, in the playoffs, when I'm bouncing around in the American League, people are always asking about the Brewers. Like, man, what a year. How crazy was that? You kind of, fell short, whatever. And then when you actually kind of sit back and look, William Contreras' year was insane. 281 batting average as an everyday catcher, a 365 on base, a 466 slug, an 831 OPS, career highs, 23 homers, career high, 92 runs batted in, a career high. And while playing hurt for the last month and a half of the season or so, playing through all the nagging injuries that a catcher plays through at that point in the season. So a well-deserved Silver Slugger Award for William Contreras. Another couple of award announcements, which were not a surprise. We previewed these last week. But Jackson Chourio was officially named a top 3 finalist for the National League Rookie of the Year. That is a Baseball Writers Association of America award, which is why it's not being announced tonight. Tonight's an All-MLB award. And then Pat Murphy, of course, has been nominated for Manager of the Year for the National League. Awards week is next week on MLB Network. There's an award every night. And Monday night, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is Rookie of the Year. Tuesday night is Manager of the Year. Wednesday night is Cy Young. And then Thursday night, I believe, is MVP. I just know that Manager is Tuesday, and I'm pretty sure Rookie usually goes first. So we'll look forward to that. Next week, we'll see. I think it's pretty much a consensus in the national media that Chourio is going to be third. But I'm really excited to see how many second-place votes he gets. I'm very intrigued to see who has the guts to do that. Next up, this was a small headline today, but the Brewers announced all the first pitch times for 2025 on their home schedule, that is. And one of the updates that I'm all for is all Monday through Thursday games, not just during the school year, not switching it over to the summertime. All Monday through Thursday home night games. If they were playing a night game on a Monday through Thursday, on a weeknight, it is going to be a 6:40 first pitch. I'm all for it. All for it. Let's get everybody in and out a little bit quicker. I think it's great. And then in the first 2 months of the season, Wednesday or Thursday day games, those getaway days, those will be 12 o'clock first pitches, 12:10. Again, get it in, get it out. I'm all for it. And no problems, no qualms with that at all. All of that is available on Brewers.com. And then finally, one last headline is the Tampa Bay Rays. The Brewers are visiting the Rays this year, but no, it will not be at the Trop. It is officially going to be George Steinbrenner Field there in Tampa, the spring training home of the New York Yankees. So this is obviously caused by Hurricane Helene and tearing off the roof, which was overdue for upgrades and everything. But the Brewers are going to play in a minor league stadium, a spring training, essentially. But it also hosts the Tampa Tarpons. That's the Florida State League, high A affiliate of the Yankees as well. So there's going to be 2 minor league ballparks in action in the 2025 season. Of course, the Oakland Athletics are temporarily displaced in Sacramento right now. And then now Tampa Bay is going over to George Steinbrenner Field. So that's your headlines. Let's go ahead and talk about the qualifying offer and next week's reserve wire. I'll talk about that next here on 620 WTMJ.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
When you work with us, you'll know what you're going to get. And most importantly, you'll know exactly what you're going to pay us to list and sell your home. Talk to any Benefit Realty agent and ask about our commission. You will always get the same answer. You may find that others aren't ready to be as straightforward as we are right off the bat. They may try to meet with you first, and from there, you'll probably have to haggle your commission. And if you're lucky, you might be able to get them to reduce their commission to what we charge. But who wants that? Benefit Realty is going to make this easy for you with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. And we even one-up it from there. We cap our commission so that no matter what size property you're selling for the listing side of your sale, your savings will be substantial. And if you're selling a luxury portfolio kind of home, substantial is an understatement. And finally, if you're not happy at any time with the service you're getting, we won't hold you to the term of your contract. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Petronio. Back live here on WTMJ. Talking Brewers here on a Thursday night on a dreary day in Milwaukee. Thanks for joining us. So, MLB, all MLB stuff being announced as we speak. They are bouncing all over the place as far as how they're announcing all this stuff. So they went outfielders first and second team. They've done third baseman first and second team. They've done second base. They've done shortstop. They have not yet got to catcher, pitcher. They've named the relievers of the year, too. So we're still waiting on William Contreras. And no, Jackson Chourio was not named all MLB outfielder. That, of course, the first team was Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Mookie Betts. No surprise. Second team was Jackson Merrill, Jarren Duran, Teoscar Hernandez. No surprise there. Shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. and Francisco Lindor. Again, they're top three MVP candidates. Second base, Ketel Marte and Jose Altuve. Again, no surprise. Ketel's top three MVP candidate. Third base, Jose Ramirez and Manny Machado. Yeah, I mean, no surprises here, no qualms, nothing to make a big deal about. Let's talk a little bit about next week's qualifying offer and the deadline that comes with. So, in case you're not familiar with the qualifying offer, I think I've explained it in every pod to this point, but in case you're not familiar, let's talk about it again briefly. The qualifying offer is meant to be a little bit of balance and give a chance for small market teams to give a fair offer for 1 year to a player they may not be able to afford in free agency. On the player's perspective, they can only be offered at one time in their career, and it cannot be offered in a year that they've changed teams, i.e. they've been traded. So Jack Flaherty is not eligible for a qualifying offer, even though he's never received one. The qualifying offer itself is a 1-year deal of the average 100 salaries, top 100 salaries in Major League Baseball. And it comes out, I believe it's 20.8 this year, something really highest number it's ever been. The qualifying offer is essentially a 1-year, $20 million guarantee. And if the player declines that qualifying offer, then signs a bigger deal elsewhere, then the team that loses that player gets draft pick compensation in one of the quote-unquote sandwich picks of next year's draft, meaning the sandwich picks are the picks that are either competitive balance, based on market size, so the Brewers always get a pick there, or like the Oakland A's or, these small market teams get competitive balance picks. And then you get these picks that the Brewers actually acquired in a trade last year from the Orioles in competitive balance in the Corbin Burns deal. So assuming Willy Adames departs and signs a bigger deal elsewhere, the Brewers would receive a competitive balance pick. And in doing so, the team that signs Willy Adames would lose a pick in that following year's draft. So that's also attached to the player there. All of that to preface the fact that Tuesday is the deadline for the players to decide if they want to opt in to the qualifying offer. Now, generally speaking, one or two players every year accepts the qualifying offer, and everyone else rejects it. And I'm 1,000% certain Willy Adames is going to reject that qualifying offer. So why even bring it up? Well, there's another day that comes with that next Tuesday, and that is the deadline for the reserve list, meaning that's the deadline to decide what players on your minor league farm system you are going to protect on the 40-man roster from the Rule 5 draft. Now, that's a whole other convoluted story. I direct you to MLB's glossary on the origins of the Rule 5 draft, but basically it empowers the player in order to say, hey, you're a talented draftee of X team. You cannot be just buried in the minor leagues, not being put on the 40-man roster, because if another team wants to pluck you before your 6 years are up, then the only way they cannot do that is if you're on the 40-man roster. So that's something to keep in mind for next Tuesday. The Brewers' 40-man roster currently sits at 36, so they have 4 spots available to put in. And remind you, nobody's on the 60-day IL right now. You cannot create space on the IL, on the 40-man, by putting guys on the IL. You do it by cutting guys. So there are maybe some guys lower on that 40-man roster that are on the ropes. But when you look at who's eligible to be picked in this year's Rule 5 draft that the Brewers would want to protect, it's not nearly as deep as it has been in years past where it's like, oh my gosh, you have to protect Jefferson Carroll. Oh my gosh, you have to protect so-and-so, right? It's not as deep. Now, I think a slam dunk guy that's going to be protected next week is Logan Henderson. Logan Henderson is a starting pitching prospect. He is a top 10 prospect in the Brewers organization. He is a starting pitcher. He made it all the way up through AA this year. He had a fantastic season. He missed some time early in the year with an oblique strain, but good to see him back pitching well. I expect him to be protected. Another name that you might see brought up is Chad Patrick. He made it up to AAA last year too, pitched well. Again, because they have the roster flexibility to do so, I imagine they protect him. Then it gets a little interesting. The name Coleman Crowe may not ring a bell to you, but Coleman Crowe was acquired from the Mets in the Adrian Hauser-Tyrone Taylor trade at the start of last year. And he was recovering from Tommy John surgery all year. He went to the Arizona Fall League. He is due to be protected on the Rule 5 draft. Now, you can choose not to protect somebody like Coleman Crowe and just kind of roll the dice saying, I don't think any other team is going to pick up this guy. And you could be right, and that happens more often than you think. Or you can protect him and just keep your ducks in a row and say, we want to keep an eye on this guy. For me, that's the Bradley Blaylock situation from last year. Remember, Bradley Blaylock pitched in a couple of games this season for the Brewers. He was acquired in the Luis Urias deal to the Red Sox 2 years ago. They had to protect him on the 40-man. They did so. He pitched a couple of games in case of emergency. Then he was traded to the Rockies in the Nick Mears deal. So you just never know how it's all going to work out. And then in case you're wondering, well, what about Jacob Izarowski, Dom? He's not even eligible to be picked on the Rule 5 draft this year, so he doesn't need to be protected on the 40-man roster. But there's a chance that he makes his big league debut at some point in 2025, and thus you would have to put him on the 40-man roster. Hope all that made sense. You can add 4 spots. You can fill up your 40-man if you so wish, but then that makes things a little complicated come winter meetings time, come trade deadline season, when you decide what you want to do. Speaking of that, let's talk about third base. Let's talk about what the Brewers could be thinking over there for the left side of their infield. Brewers Weekly rolling on. If you want to call in, if you want to text in, it is 855-616-1620. Again, 855-616-1620. Right here on your home of the Brewers, 620 WTMJ.
Dr. Ken's mind is fine as aged wine, let me tell you.
Hey! This is The Truth on WTMJ.
Is it me? Or are you the deficit? Am I doing too much, or are you not doing enough?
You're reminding me what I'm not doing, so then you don't.
With Dr. Ken Harris and Denise Thomas.
Politicians are not perfectionists. They're not perfect. How do you think they became politicians?
Sunday night starting at 7.
There's so much going on in this city, in this country, and I think it's time that we slow down.
Right here on WTMJ.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Burkier here. We've all got a story about regretting a paint color choice. Let the pros help you. Your neighborhood CertaPro painter can help you with color consultation services. They're the real deal. They've done the painting at my house. They know what they're doing. They're friendly, they're efficient, and they're affordable. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting at the right price. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro painters.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
I'm Dom Catronio. 855-616-1620 is the phone number. Again, 855-616-1620. Let's talk a little bit about what the Brewers could be getting ready to do on the left side of the infield. Now, this entire segment prefaces on the assumption that Willy Adames is not returning. Okay, so let's just slide that over. Hey, what's the plan next? A lot of folks would just assume Joey Ortiz is going to go to short, which I think is the accurate assessment, and that leaves a hole at third base. You can do a variety of things. I don't think Brock Wilken will be ready. He's not going to be really a factor, I think, in 2025. You could reheat the Sal Frelick experiment at third base, thinking about what could be, a chance that a healthy Garrett Mitchell, a healthy Christian Yelich, a healthy Jackson Churio, like that's your outfield. Sal Frelick can play third base and against a right-handed pitcher. And then you've got Blake Perkins as an extra outfielder available to you. That's certainly an option. But what about outside of the organization? Are there candidates that the Brewers can look to figure out what they want to do? Maybe go acquire somebody, and what would that take to do so? Now, there are three names I've seen very popular popping up across some of the interwebs, if you will. But let's just go one by one. These three guys that I've seen, I think you're going to understand where we're going with this. Just on a scale of 1 to 10, do I think that they would be a fit? Now, this isn't predicting, ooh, yeah, go get that guy. Yeah, they're definitely going to get it because I said this guy's a 10. Also, none of these guys are going to be a 10. But predicting the fit, like, does this make sense? Is this a Brewers-esque move? So let's start with the lowest end of the spectrum here, and let's start with Nolan Arenado. No, it's not going to happen. He's still owed about $21 million a year over the next 3 years. Granted, $10 million of that is being paid by the Colorado Rockies, which, shout out to the Rockies, I guess. But, again, this is age 34, 35, and 36 for a defense-first third baseman. Now, I say defense first because it hasn't been a great offensive season for him the last season and a half or so for Nolan Arenado. He's coming off the worst season in his career. He played through some injuries. I'll give him credit for that. But generally, players don't find the fountain of youth at this age of their careers. And furthermore, the money factor of this really makes this a non-starter for me. So this on a scale of 1 to 10, this is practically a 0 or a 1. I mean, if we have to follow the rules here, it's not happening. Okay, now the guy in the middle here that I could think about is Ha-Seong Kim. Now, what Ha-Seong Kim will be doing, now he's a free agent. The catch, though, is he is recovering from labrum surgery, an injury that he sustained last August. He did not immediately get surgery, though, which likely puts his opening day out of the question. And it's been very vague from the Padres and from Scott Boras' camp of what Kim's availability and what his current status is going to be heading into 2025. And I can hear you thinking, well, Dom, why would they be interested in damaged goods? Because it's cheaper. Because the Brewers got a discount on Rhys Hoskins. Because the Brewers are able to get a discount on a guy like Ha-Seong Kim, who, by the way, is a Gold Glove caliber defender at shortstop. And you could keep Joey Ortiz at third base. However, let's assume he's not available until mid-May, late May. Okay, well, Joey's going to be playing shortstop, and maybe you survive with Sal Frelick at third base and a platoon of Sal Frelick and insert utility infielder here like Andrew Monasterio or Vinny Cap or whatever Oliver Dunn, whatever you decide to ultimately do until Kim gets healthy. And because he's coming off of an injury, it could make him a little bit cheaper. And we know the Brewers' reputation with finding defensive stars. And it's not like he's a slouch with the bat either. I mean, Ha-Seong Kim, coming over from the KBO a couple of years ago after the 2020 season in the KBO, over his career, he's amassed 15 wins above replacement, according to Baseball Reference. That's in 4 years. And he's played all over the infield. His best position is shortstop. I would not see the Brewers putting him to third base. I could see them putting him to shortstop. And then, by the way, he hit 17 home runs in a healthy 2023 in which he played 152 games. He hit 11 this year, but he had his season cut short by 40 games. Batting average was way down this year. There were some injuries in there, too, earlier in the season, all for the reasons that we mentioned earlier in the year. He also has a great strike zone discipline, 58 walks to 77 strikeouts rate-wise. That's a 12% walk rate and only a 16% strikeout rate. Both great above average numbers. So I think on the scale of 1 to 10, how much of a fit is this to get Ha-Seong Kim to be a Brewer? I'd give this a 5. I mean, this is a 4 to a 5 to me. The injury concern is the number one thing. However, if Scott Boras, stands on his soapbox in the winter meetings next month and sits there and says, yeah, he's already playing catch again. He's already resuming baseball activities. Remember, Garrett Mitchell had the same injury 2 years ago. He sustained that injury in late April. He returned to minor league rehab games in September. He was ultimately not added to the postseason roster in 2023, but he was available if the Brewers wanted to go with him. So you would figure, okay, maybe April, maybe May for Ha-Seong Kim. Now, finally, this is one that I could see being a fit, but I don't know about the pay. I don't know about the Brewers' desire to make a trade, and that is Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm, in a report this week out of, I believe it was John Heyman who wrote about this, that the Phillies are looking to shake things up. They're in kind of like the end of their window in their view right now. Now, they've already extended Wheeler. They've already extended Nola. Their bullpen needs to be figured out after Strahm and Hoffman kind of, spit the bit there at the end. And Hoffman is getting looks around the league as maybe as a starter. So do you make a trade for one of your surplus relievers to them to get 2 years of Alec Bohm? He's in arbitration right now, so he's going to get more expensive. He was paid $4 million last year. That's going to go up this year given he is an all-star and had a great year. There's the defensive question. He's kind of the opposite of what we just talked about with Ha-Seong Kim of being a defensive-minded player. He's not. He's not been a defensive-minded player. DRS had him at a 0 this year for third base, which is the best of his career. And if you remember in 2023, the key error he made against the Brewers in September while they were in the pennant race, and that led to a comeback win for the Crew, they would need some help with some defense. However, the dude can hit, man. The dude can really hit, and doesn't strike out a lot, needs to work on the defense, 2 years of control. And furthermore, hey, you pay for 1 year of arbitration for Alec Boehm and you make a trade. You know who I'm going to say. It's Devin. But let's say Brock Wilken just tears the cover off the ball in double and triple A in 2025, and he's clearly getting close to being ready. Right? He played in the Fall League, just finishing things up in the Arizona Fall League right now. He's going to look forward to having a healthy season in 2025 after getting hit in the face. He's your top third base prospect right now. Or Tyler Black takes leaps and bounds at third base. He's an internal option if they want to put him back to third base to figure out what they want to do with him. And you acquired Alec Boehm. Who says you have to keep him all the way to term? You can trade him, too, after 1 year as well. I give this fit a 7 because it fits multiple needs. Left side defender, third base, power hitter, and by all accounts, obviously Reese is a big part of what he learned in Philadelphia and how to be a big leaguer and be accountable in the big leagues. Like we all saw the viral moment back in 2021. I hate this place with some choice words in there. And Kyle Schwarber and Reese Hoskins were leaders of trying to, bring him under their wings. Say, hey man, just own this. And he got better from there. So I could see that as a 7. That doesn't mean it's the likelihood that it's going to happen. I just think it's a great fit. And the Brewers have something the Phillies need, and the Phillies have something the Brewers need. So, hey, Dombrowski, what's up, man? You want to make a trade? I know you do. So he always tends to. Let's talk a little bit more about the rest of the offseason, awards week up next, and some other dominoes that need to fall before, we know Willie's going to get traded. But what are other things that we're keeping an eye on for the Brewers this offseason? That's coming up next here on 620 WTMJ.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
This is Anthony Zaneski with Quality. Because we are truly local and family owned, I think that lends to the trust you can have in our company. And that means when we put out a promotion like this, it's always going to be a deal that you can believe in. So here we go. When you buy an Armstrong heating and cooling system, we'll give you the choice of a legitimate $1,700 off or a free water heater. And with federal and state money helping you pay for the HVAC upgrade, that will make this deal even better. Now, the average life of a water heater is 6 to 9 years. Yours is probably past that or getting there. So before you walk into a flooded basement, you can take care of this and upgrade a big part of your home's inner workings and get a pretty good deal at the same time. So call Quality and get a free water heater when you upgrade your home's HVAC system.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality, now offering heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
This is Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Welcome back. I'm Dom Cutronio. Let's talk a little bit about the other fish to fry here in the 2024 offseason for the Brewers. We've talked plenty about Willie in previous podcast episodes, and there will be plenty more to talk about Willie in the future. We just talked a little bit about the left side of the infield, but what are the other things that we're going to be monitoring come at the winter meetings in a little less than a month's time of what the Brewers are shopping around for? What could they be looking for? What are the other needs of this team? And shockingly, one of the things they'll not be looking for, at least at this point, is starting pitching. Now, you can never have enough pitching. Don't get me wrong on that. But we just talked about the fact that you could have a couple of 40-man guys added to your roster that could impact your team. You know, guys like Logan Henderson. We imagine Jacob Mizorowski is going to be a factor at some point in 2025. While you have Robert Gasser rehabbing from Tommy John surgery, I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be in 2025, given he had the surgery in the middle of the summer. Does he come back in August, or do you just, if there's any setback, it's like, hey, just shut her down and we'll see you in 2026. So that's all on the table. But those are, the back end, the guys that we're not even relying on per se. Whereas, these are the Tobias Myers category of weren't really on the radar heading into the year. So, right now, assuming Brandon Woodruff is healthy, assuming Freddie Peralta is back, they already picked up the team option on him, but assuming he's going to be himself and be Freddie Peralta. So it'll be Woody, Peralta, Tobias Myers. They've already declined the team option on Colin Ray, but that does not mean he's gone. Perhaps they're just trying to make sure they have space here at the Rule 5 draft. If they need to protect somebody, if they got a trade on the works, and then they can still ultimately re-sign him. He is a free agent at this point. Anybody can sign him right now. But that's 3 guys right there I just named with Woodruff, Peralta, Myers. They've made every indication that Aaron Ashby is going to be stretched out again and tried to be a starter. Same with DL Hall. Okay, that's 5 names right there that we're monitoring to say, okay, they could be starters on this team. Other guys on the 40-man roster that, I know Carlos Rodriguez didn't have a great first taste of the big leagues, and he wasn't super brilliant, at least down when he went back down to AAA. But maybe a fresh start could help him. He is depth at this point, and there's nothing wrong with having depth. No, by the way, you've still got 1 more year of Aaron Savali as of now, unless the Brewers decide to make a trade, given they have so much starting pitching depth at this point. But right now, the 5, if I'm rolling out on opening day, it goes Woodruff, it goes Peralta, it goes Myers, it goes Savali, it goes Ashby. And you know what? I probably put Hall in there too. 6-man rotation to start the year. See which one you want to keep. These things tend to work themselves out. Then you've got to decide in your bullpen, all right, Devin's going to be shopped. Trevor McGill's your closer, right? He's got plenty of years of control still remaining. You can imagine you've got McGill, you've got Pyomps, you've got Mears, you've got Koenig, you've got Hudson, you've got Craig Yoho on the way. That's another guy I haven't said yet. He doesn't need to be protected on the 40-man, but he is probably going to factor in. We'll see him in spring training this year, too. There are options to choose from on the bullpen side. It's like, all right, well, choose which one do we want, and is it going to be a 6-man rotation and you take 1 less from the starting rotation, or 6-man rotation, 1 less from the bullpen, or do you keep it traditional 5-man and keep DL Hall or Aaron Ashby as a swingman that keeps you with the full 8-man bullpen? These are the decisions that we'll be monitoring, because it's suddenly the bullpen that's a little thinner than usual, but we say this every year, and then they pull a rabbit out of the hat, and here's Jared Koenig, and here's Brian Hudson, and here's so-and-so that's going to come in and throw leverage innings for you that you were not expecting. So I think, to me, there are locks, right? Catcher, locked. First base, locked. Second base, locked. Left side, TBD. Outfield, locked, right? Yelly, Churio, Frelick, Mitchell, Perkins. You're locked. And then you got to figure out where's Black going to play. Do you re-sign Eric Haas? There's not as many questions as usual. And I remember saying this at some point last season. Oh, you think the team's young this year, as in 2024? Just wait till next year when they're even younger, right? You can envision a lineup where you've got Joey Ortiz at short. And let's go ahead and throw, Sal Frelick at third. Let's say Reese is DHing, so Tyler Black is playing first, and Terang's at second, Contreras still behind the plate, and the outfield has Yelly in left, and Mitchell in center, and Churio in right. Wow, that's a young team still, and all controllable. So I don't see a lot of massive moves on the way for the Brewers. The Devin Williams conundrum is the conundrum of this offseason for the Crew. And that's what I think. That movement's going to happen probably during the winter meetings, if that happens at all. Or it's like last year where it comes like right when you let your guard down, when you're like a week until spring training, when the move is made like it was last year with Corbin Burns. But we shall see. Take a breather, come back with more. Let's update you on the all MLB teams. More on that in a moment on 620 WTMJ.
Craft your Brewers mini plan for the 2025 season, featuring all new 6-packs and 12-packs. Get in on the action with great ticket rates, marquee matchups, and priority seating. Plus, you'll get a limited edition Brewers Crowler with each 12-pack or pair of 6-packs. Looking to customize your games to fit your schedule? Build your own ticket plan options are also available. Pick the plan for you at brewers.com/ticket finder.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
It's Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Welcome back. We got some breaking news. Positive stuff from Las Vegas. The All MLB Awards. We're wrapping up things at the Cosmopolitan now. William Contreras, first team All MLB. Congratulations to William in a career year. Here's the company that he shares first team All MLB. The outfielders, Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge, Juan Soto. The infielders, Jose Ramirez, Bobby Witt Jr., Ketel Marte, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the DH, Shohei Ohtani, the starting pitcher, Chris Sale, the relievers, Emmanuel Clase, and Ryan Helsley. Also starting pitchers include Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens, Corbin Burns, and Zach Wheeler. And your first team All-MLB catcher is Milwaukee Brewers backstop, William Contreras. And a reminder, the Brewers gave up Esteury Ruiz to receive William Contreras and Yoel Payamps and another minor leaguer in the system right now by the name of Justin Yeager. They give up one player, got three, and now, 2 years later, they have an All-MLB backstop in William Contreras. Trust Matt Arnold in the front office, y'all. They know what they're doing. What a steal. So congratulations to William. He is the first Brewer to be named to the All-MLB team since Christian Yelich in 2019 in the first year of this version of the award. So fun times, to say the least, for William. We talked about it in spring training. The Mamba Challenge, if you will, if you're not familiar. The Mamba Challenge used to be Kobe Bryant giving challenges to NBA players, and one that's been very popular here in Milwaukee is, of course, the one he gave to Giannis Antetokounmpo, where he would give these sort of, hey, go get this. Can you go get an MVP? Can you go get me Defensive Player of the Year? Can you be top 2 team all defense? Whatever. A list of awards or accolades that he wanted you to get. So the Brewers in spring training, on the big whiteboard that sits in Pat Murphy's office in spring training, there was in his handwriting, in Pat Murphy's handwriting, it said, Mamba Challenge WC, William Contreras. Line, and then here's the things. Gold Glove, didn't happen this year. Top 5 MVP, could happen. He's not a top 3, but he could be top 5. Silver Slugger, check. I just see a dude that has had a career year and has checked off 2 or 3 of those boxes. It's impressive. Put his money where his mouth was. I've just been at awe at sometimes the stubbornness, but it's also the drive of a competitor. He didn't want to come out of the lineup at all this year. And I think next year he'll learn, okay, hey, it's okay if I can take a few days off, like he was starting to do in the second half of the season, trying to make sure everything was right. William Contreras, first team all MLB. I got one quick gripe, though, about this all MLB team and about what it means across Major League Baseball and how some of the awards voting is just kind of wonky. In the second team reliever, so there's 2 relievers, first team, second team. Second team reliever, Mason Miller of the Oakland A's was named second team all MLB, but he was not named top 3 American League Rookie of the Year. Instead, that went Colton Cowser, Luis Hill, and Austin Wells. I can hear even on Wilyer Abreu making it top 3. I've said this last week's show. I can't give an award to the guy that led Major League Baseball in walks. I just can't. I'm sorry. I also can't give an award to Austin Wells, whose offensive numbers leave a lot to be desired. If you dropped Austin Wells in Kansas City, and with all due respect to Kansas City and with all due respect to Austin Wells, a 102 OPS plus, so 2 points above league average, a 229 batting average, a sub 400 slugging. He hit 13 homers. What are we doing? What are we doing? Automatically, East Coast, you played on the East Mason, he's a closer. He doesn't count on the dude. Austin Wells played 113 games. What? This dude just got second team all MLB as a reliever, as a rookie. He broke an Oakland A's rookie record for saves in a season. You know how many great closers have pitched for the Oakland A's? Come on. That dude's top 3, and quite frankly, he should have been number 1. He would have been my vote if I had one, but nonetheless, I do not have one. That's my one little gripe with that. That's it. Just weird to me. Awards week is next week. We'll wrap up the program with some social media thoughts, get you ready for our upcoming schedule here on WTMJ. Man, it's good to be back here live on the air. So thanks for joining us. Take a breather. Come back with our last segment after this.
Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive is bringing us all together again to collect toys for children and families in need.
Join Capco and WTMJ for a celebration of giving on December 7th at the Kaczmarek Center in Grafton.
This is more than just a toy drive. It's about kids helping kids. We are learning the importance of giving and how that impacts other kids and families all over Wisconsin.
Experience the joy of giving on December 7th.
And don't forget to bring toys.
Help us make a difference this Christmas. Visit kidstoKidstoydrive.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
We've seen that sleep apnea bully stop breathing more than 100 times an hour. But this problem is solvable, and Advent has simple solutions that have been proven to be extremely effective.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. You know the ones. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security check get garnished, or a lien put on your house so you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. What happens when the hospital finds out your nursing license is suspended or you can't sell insurance anymore? Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. If you wait, it will not go away. The first meeting is free.
Brewers Weekly on WTMJ.
Last couple minutes of the program. I'm Dom Catronio. Back next week, same time, same place. 8 o'clock right here on your home of the Brewers. And again, you can always catch all of these shows live, or rather in podcast form. Brewers All Access, wherever you get your podcasts. Real quick, we've seen a mass exodus today on social media of people leaving Twitter or X, whatever the heck we call it these days, over to Blue Sky. I am not going to be one of those people that goes to Blue Sky. I think the world needs less social media, not more social media. So I will go down with the ship as it sinks. Maybe we'll have some more written content here on WTMJ. We're workshopping that right now here for the 2025 season, what our content goals are for next year. And it's not just written content. There's some other goals that I have to share what I observed during the game with you. So maybe we bring back the old school message board live chat room type stuff as opposed to just tweeting out to the void or Blue Sky. I don't even know what you call it on Blue Sky. But I just think that we don't need more copycats. Let's people are trying to make threads a thing. Let's not. Guys, we don't need more of this. Social media is not real. It's just go touch some grass, go feel the rain, go touch some snow in a couple months. Social media, sports Twitter is great. I love NBA Twitter. It was electric last night with Giannis dropping 59, and I'm not even a Bucks fan, and that was pretty sweet. But I am going to miss the community aspect of it all. I'll stick with Twitter. You can find me there for now, but I'm not going to Blue Sky. If you see somebody on Blue Sky that's being me, that's not me. You heard that straight from the horse's mouth. So real quick, as we get ready to wrap things up, a reminder, you can get ready on Brewers All Access. Follow, subscribe to that feed. You can get the episodes automatically downloaded. We'll have a year in review episode coming up right around Thanksgiving that's meant to be scheduled around your Thanksgiving travels. If you're on a long plane ride, you can just pop this in and enjoy it and hopefully have a smile on your face. And the same plane will be coming for the top 10 games of the year right around Christmas travels and everything that's supposed to be with that. Say, let's listen back to some of the games. Now, I do want to say right off the top here, though, and I'll say this in that show, too. The game 2 of the wild card, it's not going to be eligible. Because everyone would vote that to be number 1. I think I know what the number 1, and it's going to be a pretty easy consensus. How else will I fill it up? You'll have to wait and see. Our producer has been Matt Yazel. I'm Dom Catronio. Keep on swinging.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Where the heck is everybody?
Beg your pardon?
I'm at